Hey Gemini family, I am so excited to connect with you for May. This is the beginning of Gemini season. Happy birthday. 3 of my closest friends, seriously, my speed dial friends are May Geminis. So I love this time of year. It's super, super powerful. And the energy is really spiritual for you guys right now. I have to say, there's this beautiful thing going on with you where we're going to go to your spiritual house for a lot of this month until your birthday season. So much energy is in Taurus, the sign right before you. We have the sun in Taurus, of course, until your birthday season. We have a new moon in Taurus on May 4th. We have Mercury moving into Taurus on May 6th. And we have Venus entering Taurus on May 16th. So those 4 planets, plus we have Uranus in Taurus, of course, and that transit's going on for the next 7 years. And if you guys are interested in learning more about Uranus and Taurus and how that's affecting you specifically, I created this amazing little series called The Magical Midyear. I'm going to leave the link for it. It's on Vimeo and it's available right now. So you can click on over there and check out what I have to say to Geminis. We go over a lot of material and it's a great way for you to not only get into May and your birthday season with a lot more information, but you get a sense of what Uranus and Taurus is doing with you. You get a sense of what Chiron and Aries is doing. I also go over 3 outer planet retrogrades that are happening until the end of summer/winter with Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn going retrograde, and how to incorporate that with affirmations and with strategies. It's a really great tool set. I would highly recommend go checking that out if you want to just feel really empowered for the next 4 months or so. But you have so much energy in your 12th house. For the first 2 to 3 weeks of this month, it's all in the spiritual ascension energy. And that means you're getting a lot of hidden blessings. Now, the note I have for you is that a lot of the answers you're looking for, a lot of the clarity you're looking for is kind of tucked away in the peripheral. It's tucked away in in the way that little blessings are coming through, like little alignments are coming through. And so you may not be able, it's kind of like, if you're looking directly at your life and what you're wanting to clarify, it won't seem very clear, but like you'll catch these little things out of the corner of your eye and you'll be like, oh my gosh, it's coming together. That's the way 12th house energy kind of works. 10 of Pentacles. So you have a lot of positive creative energy going on here. And in fact, this 10 of Pentacles is telling me that you are at the beginning of a journey of building something of really great value and meaning. This is a legacy card. It's like when you envision your life and who you want around you, and like you envision what life will look like when you're in a rocking chair and you look over what you've created. What is that? What business is that? What family dynamics are there? What is it and that's independent, that's unique for each of you. But there's this very strong sense of that. King of Cups. You guys are always getting these water signs, which I find fascinating with Geminis, that you guys, being mutable air, you have a really deep connection with water energy. And water energy does tend to be drawn to you, probably because of your movement and your intellect and your ability to move through different mental scenarios and all of that. But what I was saying, so you have all this energy in Taurus, you have all this 12th house energy. Once again, Uranus is going to be working with you in your 12th house for a very long time. And then we hit into Gemini season. So it's like this very mystical, dreamy, fantastical energy that's working through you. And we're talking about you, like the way your soul is experiencing time and space, not so much necessarily practical things as the way we're experiencing that. And then Gemini season hits. And right before that, actually, we have that full moon in Scorpio. So that's in your 6th house of taking care of your body as well. So you're going to be kind of checking in with that. But then May 21st, Mercury and the sun conjunct go into Gemini. Now that is the way to start Gemini season. Don't you think? Your ruling planet coupling up with the sun and opening ceremony for you guys. So Mercury is going to be with you guys and with the sun through most of your birthday season. I mean, he's normally close by to the sun, but man, a conjunction on the day it begins. Wow. Ace of Wands. So there's a lot of this springing forward creative energy, but the way that it's moving through you is kind of mystical, at least at first, until we get a little bit later into the month and we start hitting into your birthday season, and then it shifts. So there's a pretty big shift going on from this kind of peripheral celebration, this peripheral preparation for your birthday, and then into your birthday. There's a lot of high intensity energy. 8 of Cups. And I think when you shift from the 12th house to the first, when you shift from the really spiritual, dreamy, watery, introspective energy into your birthday season, there is a bit of leaving behind who you've been, right? Especially if it's like it is your birthday season, you're not a Gemini rising or moon, and this really is your solar return. Birthdays they're about birth, but there's also that kind of like death of who you've been, right? And so it can kind of be a profound time when, as you're closing out a year and as you're closing out an energy cycle in that 12th house, there is a sense of leaving behind. 6 of Pentacles. There's that sense of balance that the full moon in Scorpio is going to be bringing up on the 18th. Really good time to check in with how you're balancing out your physical energy, where you need to invest in taking care of your body, taking care of how you feel in your daily routines and how you're using your energy throughout the day, just on the practical. The Lovers, there's your card. The Gemini card, strong connective energy. Once again, the 12th and the first house are extremely powerful for magnetization, deep connection, and they work on two very different fronts. One is so much about it's so spiritual and mystical and secretive, it kind of magnetizes you on this energetic level. And then the first house is so much about moving through the world, empowered and magnetic and flirty. 7 of Wands. All right, so we are moving through some energy, you guys. There's a lot of action, like focused, directed action, where it's like trying to find my words today, you all. Taking very deliberate steps. Like, I'm not going to lie, when I see this month, it's like there is a deliberate focus on how you're choosing to move through the world, which I think is a really good thing. I think you guys need this. There's almost a grounding to it, right? Where it's like, I am going to deliberately choose some things. Because if I can make those deliberate choices and I can deliberately connect in with what that is bringing up for me, then I can let my natural playful energy do its thing. Because I have this mechanism working underneath the surface that is allowing me to relax and trust myself enough to let my true spirit shine through, and therefore magnetizing me, right? So there's like, it's not just kind of like lighthearted completely, but it's all in the name of creating a life that feels supportive of you. And the Strength card. Okay, let's go over this. I'm loving these cards, you guys. These are all really quite positive and clear energies for you. And it is about building into what you want and being very specific and deliberate about choosing this each and every time. So you start off with the 10 of Pentacles, and like I said, this is energy of deliberately choosing where you want to put your energy. This is long range cycle energy. And it's about being conscious of the fact that all the little decisions you make within a month or within a year add up to something powerful. Now, this also can mean that you're plugging into situations, jobs, relationships, houses, projects that are going to play out on the long front, on the long range voyage, and that you may be noticing that those things are starting to show up. Now, of course, they start to show up. It doesn't mean that it all makes sense right away. So there's still some patience with the 10 of Pentacles energy. You can have your King of Cups in here. So for those of you who are involved with some kind of water sign, somebody who's got a watery, intuitive, kind of shyer, introspective nature around you, you do have this energy. And the thing with this energy is whether it's something that's manifesting within yourself or it's manifesting around you as people, this energy is very quiet because it doesn't work on the physical level. And once again, you have all this energy in your 12th house, which is about our energetic work. It's about when we stop looking at all the things that we think need to happen in the day-to-day and like everything we think we need to do, and we tap into the spirit. we tap into the spiritual, and we tap into that energetic knowing, right? That intuitive energetic knowing. So you're getting a big call here to visualize and integrate what this big vision is on the spiritual level, on the energetic level, on the quiet level. And that is really important to keep in mind as you kind of move through the first 3 weeks of this month. There is this magical essence to this energy that doesn't totally sit grounded in the world where you're just getting a phone call, you're getting the thing that you want. It's like you can feel the thing that you want. And that's more important. Now, we also have this dualism going on here, right? And this is what I was saying about kind of when you're leading up to the season that is your sign, you know, and you're in that energy right before that, it's a time of skin shedding. It's a time of rest and incorporation. Now for you, it's like you're starting a new energetic cycle, right? You have the 10 of Pentacles. You have this Ace of Wands. These are very much about strong, long-term energetic cycles that are extremely powerful, right? But in order to step into this Ace of Wands energy, you're leaving something behind, right? Now that can look like a lot of different things. It can look like literally leaving behind a location that used to be home. It can be leaving behind relationships. It can be leaving behind habits, patterns. It can be leaving behind a job that no longer serves you. It can just be a feeling of leaving behind who you have been. I mean, Eight of Cups is always an emotional leaving behind, right? So it's something that taps into our emotions. It taps into our sense of self. It taps into like how we connect emotionally. And it also taps into what is no longer serving us on that front. It's like drinking from a cup that you know makes you ill and deciding, you know, this doesn't serve me anymore when it did used to serve you, but it doesn't anymore. So the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Cups go hand in hand. Now, I have a special fondness for Eight of Cups because I find it to be the adventurer card, the curious, the intrepid adventurer who's curious about what life can be like beyond what's already known. So you have this exploratory energy coming up. And I think first you explore it in your 12th house, in your energetic house, in your emotional house here, the secretive house. You explore it there. You explore what that is feeling like, and then you move on it. And they're both happening this month. And I think, you know, being unafraid of hearing yourself out, hearing your inner being and what it's asking you to shift or change is so important this month. We have so much energy in the grounded, fixed earth energy of Taurus, and this is an amazing space to actually make changes because with the Mother Earth energy of Taurus, with the Empress energy, with the kindness energy that works on the physical, when we have that groundedness, we're able to explore. We have an anchor point. We're able to explore how we want to shift. And then when we get into Gemini season, mutable air, what a shift, right? From grounded, fixed earth into mutable air, we can start playing and moving the pieces around and doing all that work, right? Now, the next two cards have everything to do with balance, my friends. These are balancer cards, right? One is your card, the Lovers is the Gemini card. And then one is this really practical rounded Six of Pentacles. And they both speak to even, give, and receive. And the Six of Pentacles is a little bit more like balance your checkbook, you balance your budget. It's also where are you withholding, or where are you overgiving in different social dynamics and in different economic dynamics? Where can you find some balance in that? And sometimes I think, you know, it's like a cluttered house is a cluttered mind. I think sometimes, you know, just taking some time, just taking a few hours to do your admin this month could be really helpful for just clearing everything else out so that you can see where you need to go. Now, of course, the Lovers is here. This is about deep, passionate love, of course. It's about meeting your match, right? It's about being with others that match you. Now, that doesn't have to just be in love. It can be in work. It can be in situation. But the important thing here is being able to connect with your highest self so that it mirrors back at you. You know, because we will mirror back at ourselves whatever we're emotionally tapping into, which is why that 12th house energy is so intense for you guys. The more you can tap into a beautiful emotional landscape, the more when you come back down and it's Mercury and the Sun conjunct and it's Gemini season, you will find that the scenarios that you want playing out are mirroring back to you. But it's really important to take those first 3 weeks if you want to get to this beautiful, balanced, connected, loving place of partnership and health and well-being and balance. I see it for you, but it is really dependent on you showing up on the spiritual plane first. Now, by the end of this month, we do have some of this competitive energy, which I find really interesting. Seven of Wands is kind of known as the card of higher ground. It's when you are in a competitive scenario, whether that be in work or creativity, and you're kind of holding your own. So I don't really see you guys as being antisocial or kind of sitting at home, hiding out in this month. You may be a little bit more like that earlier in the month as you're kind of rebalancing, but this card is telling me that you are kind of getting out there and taking stands on what matters to you, expressing what you need, expressing how you want that to play out, and also even making progress on big projects or situations. And, you know, this is a bold energy. It's a little combative. It can be a little bit in your face, but it's action focused. It's focused on making changes. It's focused on taking the space that you want to take and making sure that you feel that you have the support you need. So there's a self-advocacy here moving through this part of the month. So once you kind of get all the information you need from your spiritual house, remember that a big part of the next part of this adventure that I see you on is self-advocacy if necessary. If there are places in your life that you feel you need to advocate for your well-being, your health, your happiness, it's really important to check in with that. Now, finally, we have the Strength card, the Leo card. I am a Leo, so I get excited when I show up in a reading. But the Strength card, so of course, like maybe you are meeting a Leo. Leo and Gemini, it's a fantastic combination. But the Strength card has a lot more to do with a certain qualitative energy space. And the Strength card is a perfect marriage between the spiritual. If you'll notice her infinity here, the infinity crown she wears, that is her deep connection to spirit. Right? That patience, that 12th house energy we've been talking about, that mystical peripheral blessings, everything lining up. And when you kind of really look at it from the side, you realize, oh my gosh, this is all lining up. The Strength card is a perfect marriage of that. And understanding that the grounded, taking deliberate action gets you places. Not just unleashing your intellect and your words and your actions and your movement on people, right? And on situations and even on yourself. But understanding that pacing yourself, taking each step deliberately is where your real power comes from. It comes from a quiet dignity, a quiet respect for your power, for your worth, for your centeredness. And that, yeah, it is quiet. And sometimes, you know, you don't get to make that splash right away, but it adds up. And the more you act through this Strength energy, the more you will find the things that come to you, respect your time, respect your energy, match you, make you feel full, make you feel relaxed, and lets your fun, communicative, playful energy shine because you have this rootedness, this clarity that's come from you connecting to all these other aspects of self. Because there's one thing I know, it's that Geminis, yes, you can move through the world, you can communicate, you're great with ideas, with making things happen, with building bridges between people, but you're also very curious about your own personal development on all these other energetic levels, and that it's important to you. And that sometimes I think you feel you need to play a certain role in the world and you don't get the time to actually do those other things for yourself. Well, guess what? This month is your month. This Uranus and Taurus transit is a transit designed for you to get to do this work. So keep that in mind as you kind of move through this. Once again, you can learn so much more about Chiron and Aries, Uranus and Taurus, those two very long transits we will be working with for several years, and all the outer planet retrogrades and all the good stuff that I have in the magical mid-year that I created for you on Vimeo. So go click the link below. You will be taken right there. It's available for you to download right now. I'm really excited about what I created with that project, and I think you guys will have so much fun learning with it. So go check that out. You can also connect with me for private readings and what I'm up to on my website and my email. So I'll leave those links in the description box as well. So all the goodies for connecting with me are down there. I'm wearing PinkLune. She's giving you 15% off. And this summer, she is going to be creating some magical pieces. So definitely keep an eye on her shop. One of a kind. So anything that's there, it's like if it gets purchased, like that's the one of that piece. That's the one stone. That's the one. So you're going to want to keep an eye out for her. I love you guys so very much. I will see you for more Gemini season in June. Have so much fun playing with this 12th house energy, and happy birthday to all those May gems out there. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon.